Hey guys, it's Matt here. I'm here with Mark Sieverkrop as well, and we're here to talk about the Copywriting Academy launch that technically starts tomorrow. We'll share a little bit more about that here in just a little bit, but I'm going to do a little housekeeping. Make sure that yep, we're live. Okay, cool. Always like to double check, make sure stuff actually works, like I just did a moment ago. So, side note, you may look over and see. In where the chat is, you may see this like little tiny button that says, what does it say? I have no idea. I can't even, it's so tiny I can't even read it, but it says chat now.
Chat now, something.
That is how you click on that, and that is how you actually chat. It'll pop up. So I apologize. It's not as ideal as normally. We have a nice little chat window over there on the right, but their server's down. The company that we normally use, their server is actually down. Yeah, it looks like we're even getting an error. So guys, I'm so sorry about the chat. So here's what we're going to do. Tweet me your questions at Matt McWilliams2. Don't forget the 2 or you get an egg. Those of you who followed me for a while are tired of that joke. I'm going to continue to make it for the next time.
I am tired of it now.
Until I get the Matt McWilliams not to give me my freaking Twitter name back. But anyway, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt McWilliams. I'm Ray Edwards, a JV director. And the other guy there is
what is his name?
It's Mark Sieverkrop, and Mark is on my team here at Matt McWilliams Consulting, and he's also the guy you see in the Facebook group if you're in there. If you're not, you should be. And I would totally say, hey, Mark, drop a link in the chat room, but we don't have one. So because their server is down 5 minutes before this today. So shoot me a message on Twitter at Matt McWilliams2, and Mark will look for those and respond with the link to the Facebook group so you guys can join there. And with that, Mark, is anything you'd like to add to this very awkward and rambling introduction to before we get started here?
No, I just have to log out of my Twitter and log into yours now. You could have just gave him mine.
I don't even know your. I just type in Mark in Twitter. So I actually don't know your username. What is your username on Twitter, by the way?
Skrop2.
Skrop.
Don't forget the 2 or you get an egg.
There really is another Skrop.
I don't know. 2's always been my number. It's my soccer number.
Oh boy.
So that's what I go with.
So I'm going to share this stuff here. So Mark, can you tell me, I'm assuming if you can see it, everybody else can you guys see my screen? Mark, I'm asking you to speak on behalf of the entire world's population there.
I'm looking. Hold on. It's loading. I have to use my PC to be able to see it while I'm talking to you still.
Oh, wow.
No. Wait, hold on. It might be a delay. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Awesome. So you guys can see my screen. So this is your best promo ever with yours truly and Mark. And here's what we're going to talk about today. As you can see, we're going to talk about the promo calendar. We're just going to go kind of piece by piece through that calendar so you guys have all of that. We're also going to share some of our best promo strategies, and we're going to go through the partner system. I'm just going to show you guys real quick how to use that. Once you log in, kind of where to click, what to do, what goodies we have in there, and all that fun stuff. We'll take your questions. So again, if you have questions, you can tweet those to me at Matt McWilliams2 and or at Skrop2. Or post them in the Facebook group. Mark will be checking that. You name
Can
it.
You
like
pick one. Will you just pick one, please?
Yeah, send a carrier pigeon to me. Come and knock on my door. Anyway, but actually, please don't do that. Don't come knock on my door because I'm not going to answer. Anyway, so we will answer questions. Hopefully, if you guys have those, email me them. I mean, I don't care how you get them to me right now. We'll be checking, and by we, I mean Mark, will be checking for those. Again, sorry for not having the live chat. We love that. And the ever popular much, much, much more. So let's get right into it. The launch officially kicks off tomorrow, Thursday the 31st. But, and you can see that's a big but with a ... afterwards, which means there's something else coming. You can promote now. If you didn't know that already from the multiple emails telling you that you can promote now, you can promote now. And we have tons of you promoting already. We're calling this day 0 because it's, tomorrow's day 1. Yesterday was day -1, and already we've got thousands upon thousands of opt-ins, and we're just like overwhelmed. We can't believe like our goal was practically nothing through today because we didn't figure anybody would promote, but yeah, tons of you have. So if you're on and you did promote already, thank you, because you guys are awesome, and we're just getting started. This thing is going to continue to rock. So PLC1. PLC1 is an ebook called the $2 billion Sales Letter You've Never Heard of. I won't mention this person's name, but somebody really big in our industry recently emailed Ray and just said, wow, this thing is awesome. This ebook is amazing. And so the key here with this one is to mail now, to mail today or mail tomorrow. And if you have mailed already, to mail to your unopens tomorrow to get those extra few hundred in, however many you extra 15 to 30% in the door. But this ebook is awesome. It's a super quick read, but it really sets the tone for the rest of the launch. And you want to make sure that you get people in on this. And one of the things that you'll see as we go through this is in the pre-launch content, we have multiple modes of learning. And we have 2 ebooks. We'll get to the second one in a little bit. We have 3 videos. We have audio downloads, and we have webinars in this whole sequence. So it's pretty much like every mode of learning you can think of, we've got it covered. And the purpose to that, quite frankly, is because different people learn in different ways. You may have heard me say before, I don't personally learn from video series. I don't subscribe to video series other than I'm in this industry. And so I just like to see what everybody's doing. So I subscribe to them just to, like watch them. Very rarely do I get anything out of them. I love reading. I read a lot of books, but I don't particularly learn a ton from reading. I don't learn as much as I do from audio and from webinars. I'm an audio and a webinar guy. So if you get me an audio download, I'm all over. Get me a webinar, I'll show up. And so we got everybody covered. So that's PLC1, the ebook. If you haven't mailed yet, mail now, mail tomorrow. Yes, you can mail after that, just to be clear. But it's best to go ahead and mail today or tomorrow for that. PLC2 is a video from Ray called How to Sell Anything to Anyone. It's like the best title ever, isn't it?
All these titles are great. I posted them in the Facebook group, Matt. I was like, man,
it's like the guy who wrote them is
he's a copywriter
or something. I don't know.
I actually made that comment. I'm like, man, I want to sign up for these. Like,
yeah,
because now.
Well, video 1 is actually awesome. Video 1, I hate to admit this, is the only one that I've actually seen of the 3, but it is awesome. And I have not seen the 2 webinars, by the way, but Ray is amazing on webinars. Ray totally rocks the webinars. So this one is called How to Sell Anything to Anyone. The key day to mail on this is this Friday, 2 days from now. That says, yeah, this is 4/1. I thought that said 4/4 for a second. I was like, that's not Friday. That's like 2034 maybe. But mail this Friday, April 1st. That's not a joke. Haha, pun intended. Everybody laugh. Virtual laughs, crickets. All right. PLC3 is a video called The Email Sequence You Can Steal That Generates Sales Every Time. The key date for that is next Monday, the 4th. Now, this is one of those things, like I hesitate to almost even say you have an option to mail, the next day, of course, if that day doesn't work for you. If your audience, like you always mail on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, I can go one of 2 ways. You may want to stick to your normal schedule because that's what they're used to, and you may also want to break the pattern. You may want to have a little pattern disrupt in there and say, mail on that Monday or mail at a different time of day. And we'll talk about that later, but the key day is going to be next Monday because that gets them in, they get that little break before the next video, gets them in the sequence at the right time. The 4th piece, like we're not only like halfway done with the pre-launch content, and that's how much free stuff Ray is giving, is an ebook called The One Word That Doubles Your Sales. Here's the deal. We shared, if you don't have the ebook, the first ebook, the $2 billion Sales Letter You've Never Heard of, I sent that out a few days ago. Now you may have signed up since then, or maybe you didn't see it, no big deal. If you don't have that, email me, matt@rayedwards.com. I will get that to you ASAP, possibly today. Maybe not, might be tomorrow morning, maybe to be tonight. We'll find out. This one, I'm not going to share with you. until literally the day that we send out the swipe copy. And the big reason is this one word that doubles your sales. I actually don't want this public right now. Like this is so cool though. I know what it is because Ray shared it with me, but I'm not going to share it with you because we're going to wait until kind of the last minute, share it with you guys, get this ebook in your hands. But let me just say it's awesome. And this is something that the philosophy behind this, I'll put it this way, just not the actual word, but the philosophy behind this is something that has been so huge to me. My quick story with Ray is, I was a fan of Ray's long before he was a client of ours, long before I worked with him, long before we ever, did anything with his launches, long before I ever went through any of his products. And all I did was attend a couple of his webinars, listen to his podcast, read a few blog posts, and I applied what I learned in one of his webinars. Again, this is right before I started work. Actually, this was right after I started working with him, but I still hadn't even been through Copywriting Academy. I'd only basically just using his free stuff. And this is the value of his free stuff here. And you can look, if you go into MailChimp and look at my account, you look at the reports. And I just gave you like my last 200 emails that I sent. You would be able to visibly tell when I applied what I learned from Ray for the first time, because my open rates and my click-through rates skyrocket, almost double both of them. And you'll be able to just look at it and go, yep, that's when you started actually listening to Ray. So anyway, that's PLC4, the ebook, PLC5. Matt, yeah.
That's an important thing to point out because first off, I know click the little button that makes it not change to my screen when I'm talking, because otherwise they won't be able to see your slides.
Why don't you just stop talking? Just kidding.
Why don't I just get off? No,
it'll go back.
I was just thinking that, John Dumas said the same thing, in the last launch. That's one of the things, or in the podcast episode, he was like, I visibly saw a difference when I started using what Ray teaches.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's, we'll talk about that, your story in a little bit, not your story, Mark, but we'll talk about how to use story effectively. But PLC5 is a video called the $200 million copy formula. This used to be the $100 million copy formula, but guess what? Ray students made more money. So it's now the $200 million copy formula. The key date for that is Friday the 8th. And I'll tell you why you especially want to mail this one on that date and not wait a day, because of this. Okay, we'll come back to that. So now there's a bonus piece of pre-launch content. Only available to those watching this. So here's what you're going to do. And you can mail this anytime. I honestly don't have a specific date that I would recommend. It really depends on your promo calendar. This is really, really good though. And here's what I'm just going to say. Send me an email, matt@rayedwards.com, put in the subject line, bonus PLC, all caps, just like you see it on the screen here, bonus PLC, and I'll email you a link to it. So again, this is going to be only for people who email me. I'm not going to be sending this out publicly. And so bonus PLC in the subject line, and we'll know kind of what to do with that. You don't even have to write anything else in the email. Just send me an email that says bonus PLC. And again, the PLC content ends on 4/8, but just to be clear, people will be able to view it after that. They're actually going to be able to still access it. And the reason why you want to email that last piece of, that last video, PLC number 5, on the 8th is because starting on the 9th, it's all about this first set of webinars. We're doing 2 webinars on the 11th, Monday the 11th. We will, as we've traditionally had to do, we will add a third if we need to. There's a reason why we don't announce that for those of you who know kind of how we roll. I sound so white when I say that, but anyway, for those who know how we roll, we like to announce the ones that we know we can fill up, and then we have to announce a third because it's like, hey, these are so popular, and legitimately they are. Ray's last launch, it was either the first or the second one. I think it was the first one. Filled up, like people literally showed up for it and they couldn't get in because GoToWebinar has 1,000 people limit and 1,000 person limit, and they couldn't get in. and his second one had like 972 people on it. So it was as close as you could possibly get practically. So we announced a third one, and it shows momentum. It gets people excited. Just a little side note, if you're doing a JV launch, it also makes your JVs excited. So we hope you get excited about that. But it really gets the potential customers excited because they see, these things are so popular, they're filling up. Well, I need to be a part of that too. So those are on Monday, the 11th, but the promo starts on the 9th. You really want to get people in on that Sunday and then that Monday. We'll talk about mailing tips, but my suggestion is mail on Saturday, mail or Sunday, pick one of the two, mail again Monday morning for both of them, then mail in between them saying the first one was amazing, but don't worry, even though you missed it, there's another one coming in a few hours. And again, we'll talk about that as we get along. Card opens on Monday, the 11th. We have 2 more webinars. Again, probably a third, maybe a fourth, who knows. Promo for that begins on the 13th, which I believe is a Wednesday. And the webinars themselves are actually on the day before the cart close. Cart closes on the 14th. And then we're closing cart on Friday, the 15th. That's the day we'll also roll out on that last day a 12-pay payment plan. So that will not exist before that last day. Initially, when we planned all this, the idea was like, hey, it's tax day, so let's do that. And then we realized a few weeks ago that tax day technically this year is on the 18th, unless you live in like New England where they have Patriots Day and it's, in September. So anyway, I think it's April 19th up there. So, and if you're between the ages of 19 and 21 and you're left-handed and you live in the South, it's on April 20th. So
just be mindful of that.
Yeah, there could be a political joke in there somewhere, but I'm not going to make it. So, all right, let's talk about best practices. Number one, repeated contact. I mean, the reality is, let's just be honest. There's absolutely no possible way to be successful in this launch if you're only going to mail once or you're only going to tweet once. You want to email at least 60%, so 3 out of 5 of the PLC pieces. You want to do at least at least 2 emails about the webinars. My suggestion is, again, each one a couple of days before and then the day of. You want to email about the bonuses that we're not going to talk about those now, but we'll be announcing those during the launch. You want to email about your bonuses. We'll talk about that in a little bit. You want to email on deadline day at least twice, if not 3 or 4 times. And again, we'll talk about that, but the key is repeated contact. And one of the best ways to decide, how often are you going to email and when are you going to email is to go to the Partner Center. I'll show you this in a little bit. Go to the Partner Center. We have those mailing plans there. We have an aggressive plan, a conservative plan, and a balanced plan. So our ABC plans. So you can check those out, but definitely just plan on, it's not about annoying your list. It's about, staying in front of them with this very relevant material for them. And, one of the questions I get so often is aren't I going to alienate my list? Aren't I going to turn them off? Are they going to unsubscribe? Well, there's 3 comments I have on that. One, if somebody unsubscribes because you promote something, do you really want them on your list? Is that something that you really, really want? Secondly, give them the opportunity to just opt out of this promo only. Give them the chance. Put a link where you're basically tagging them to not email them about this opportunity, so they don't have to unsubscribe from your whole list. And then third, as we get going, you'll have access in the Partner Center. I'll show it to you. You'll have access to your opt-ins, so you can take out people who've already opted in early on for the opt-in process, and you can also just mail your opt-ins once the cart opens. Or once, maybe starting on the 12th or for the cart close, you can just mail those people. We call them your engaged contacts. You can just mail your engaged contacts. So repeated contact is key here. Second is different mediums. You see all these logos like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I've mentioned email because email is key. I mean, email is number one. But email could just as easily be blog posts or tweets, podcast episodes. The key is to make sure that you're talking about this launch, especially the free content, in as many different mediums as possible. So, I mean, just a few ideas. You could do a podcast ad. Yeah, I've done that before, where I literally just inserted a 30-second ad for the free video series for a launch into a podcast. Super easy. Doesn't really require you to do too much effort. So you could do that, sending out a tweet or two a day, pointing people to the different pieces of PLC content. You could literally right now schedule all of your tweets and all of your Facebook posts and all of your pins and whatever they call the things on Google Plus. I'm so naive about that, but your Google Pluses and all those things, you could schedule all those like today for the rest of the whole launch. So definitely use different mediums. Third is make it personal. If you have a story like Mark mentioned, John Lee Dumas, the reason he was so successful, he won our last launch. He was a #1 partner by far. The reason he was the top partner is because he had a personal story, had a personal connection to Ray. And he's like, hey, here's what happened when I used Ray's techniques. I did this, and this, and I had this success. And, here's how it affected my business. Thank you, Ray. Now, hey, you go check these out too. And people came in droves from John. And Mike Kim is similar. Mike Kim outperforms his list size 5 or 10 to 1 compared to the rest of our partners. And the reason is simple. He's in Ray's mastermind, his Regency mastermind. He has personal experience with Ray. He has a personal story, and he can talk about that story. So maybe you don't have that. Maybe you don't have you're not super connected to Ray. We'll talk about what learning copywriting has meant for you. If you have been through the course, as I know many of you have, then talk about your experience with that. But the key here is just make it personal. Fourth is bonuses. Bonuses are, for lack of a better word, they're kind of the mother's milk of launches. These are just so key, and they're so pervasive now that there's almost an expectation of them. But the key is to find something that fits your audience, that fits this course, and offer it as an add-on. And, some tips for how to, create a bonus. One, make sure that it's either complementary to Ray's course. So maybe it covers something that Ray's course doesn't, that would be relevant to the same people. Good example of that might be, and I'm making this up off the fly here, but this is a copywriting course, but it's not specifically a course about sales page design. This does not cover how to design your sales page. So maybe one of your bonuses is a 30-minute design consultation for your sales page, if that's something you can offer, or a design template, or if access to 1,000 stock images. Again, these are things I'm making up off the top of my head. It could be a course that you have on your 97 best email subject lines. It could be anything, but generally speaking, you want this bonus to be valued at somewhere between 25 and 50%, possibly higher, of the course value, which is $1,000. So you want a $200 to $500 bonus. I think if you offer a $37 bonus, it just kind of cheapens everything. And I also am not a huge believer. This may be a controversial statement. I'm not a huge believer for a $1,000 course and offering a $39,000 bonus package. I think that borders on ridiculous. So the key here is to find something, maybe it's a $1,000 bonus, maybe it's even a $2,000 bonus, but it's definitely not too cheap and, like insanely high. Offer those bonuses, because that's what's going to cause people to take action. A bonus that you specifically put together for this, or something that you already charge for, and offer it for people who go through your link.
And I wonder if you want to share real quick the story that you have of the guy that emailed you recently about your bonuses.
I would love to share that story if I knew the guy you were talking about.
Remember the one that asked you about 2 different courses that you were promoting?
Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So there were 2, actually, one course that I was promoting and one where I just know the guy. I'm friends with him, and wasn't promoting it. And I got an email saying, hey, which of these 2 courses should I choose? And I said, listen, we'll call them Course A and Course B. Course A is not the one I was promoting. Course B is. I said, I am friends with the guy who runs Course A. I love him to death. I think he's amazing, and I think his course is amazing. Course B, I am friends with the person who runs it, and the course is amazing. I do not know which one I would pick if I were in your shoes. That said, I'm not offering any bonuses on Course A because I'm not promoting it. And he, so choose what you want. And he goes, oh, well, these bonuses are so amazing. I'm definitely choosing Course B. And I think that's the power of bonuses, because they were specifically tailored to my audience, and they were complementary. One of them filled in a gap that was missing in the Course B. The intent is not to say that Course B was missing something. It just, they wasn't by design did not have that thing that I offered. And then secondly, it offered something that was kind of above and beyond, Course B, something that was in a little bit different subject, but I believe that people who bought it needed this. And so that's, I'll get specific. It was, it was for a course called Elite Blog Academy. And the 2 bonuses I offered, if I remember correctly, on the second bonus, I'm actually not 100% sure. The first one I offered was a networking event that we did, access to the replay of a networking event that we charged, $100 for. Because if you're going to start a blog, one of the things you need to learn to do is to build relationships. Because it's like, if a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a sound. Well, if you write a great blog post but nobody reads it, then does it really accomplish anything? And the second one was Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, was it a mastermind group? I mean, I literally don't remember. But
was it a mastermind group, or was it one of your? I think it was one of your guides that you use with your coaching clients.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes, it was a guide that we normally sell for a couple $100. So the other thing, if you're struggling to put together a bonus, like you don't have anything, you could legitimately just offer one of the things that I've just suggested. I've done this before, where you offer like a 2 or 4 week mastermind group. Like, everybody who buys through my link is going to get access to this mastermind group. And so they're going to, there's going to be 10, 20, 30 of you getting together, holding each other accountable, maybe 50 or 100, we hope, holding each other accountable. And you're going to, it's a great bonus, because one of the things that people, when they buy something like copywriting, it's like, well, I just feel lonely because all I do is write copy now. No, you want to keep them engaged. So let's move along. The last one is go big. You can see this picture over here. That is the amazing Coeur d'Alene Resort in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. For those of you who don't know, you're not golfers like I am. I mean, I played the Coeur d'Alene Resort golf course on Windows 98. You thought I was going to say I've actually been there. Nope. Been to Boise, though. Beautiful town. But
which is nowhere near Coeur d'Alene.
Yes, exactly. It's like, for those who don't know Idaho, it's like saying I've been to Canada, like Toronto or Vancouver, but it's the course with the floating green. Not the island green, but literally the floating green, where it like moves. It's tied to a computer and they move it. It's really cool. You ride a boat out to the green. But I encourage you to go big. Make this a big priority right now, and don't be afraid. Like, sell with authority. The thing is, this is a course that I believe in. So many people believe in. Hundreds of students believe in. It's freaking awesome, and this course is going to change some lives. So this is going to be one of those courses that, like, somebody's going to take, like, they're going to buy through your link, they're going to take it, and they are never going to stop thanking you. So be proud of what you're offering your audience, because it's awesome. Like, this is going to transform businesses. It's going to transform people. So sell with authority. Don't be scared. This is an amazing product that you can be so, so proud of. And I truly believe, like, when you sell with authority, when you go into it with the mindset of like, this email is going to direct them to a course that is going to change their business and change their lives, it affects the way that you write that email. Whereas, like, if you write the email, and it's easier for me to judge because I've done this. I still do it occasionally, where it's like, hey, there's a thing that you should check out, and I like really kind of think it's awesome, but hey, don't click the link if you're not into this thing. Like, don't sell like that. Sell with authority, sell with confidence, because I think it even comes across like, you know how I just sounded there. And when you go to somebody in person and you're kind of a weakling in sales, it's easy to see that. But we don't think that maybe that comes across in our emails, but it does come across in your email copy. It totally comes across in your email copy. Your mindset is reflective in the words that you say and how you present yourself in your body language, but it also presents itself in the language and the text that you use in written form. It's crazy, but it's true. And that's not just like psychological mumbo jumbo. It's totally true. And the last thing, have a plan. If you're watching this on the page, you'll see that kind of below me and down to the right is a checklist. Go get the checklist. If you're like me, like I can't do anything without a to-do list or a checklist. If I don't assign it to myself or somebody else assigns it to me in Asana or Task Manager, it's not going to get done. Like I will write stuff down and then type it into Asana because it's the only way I'm ever going to get stuff done.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, I mean, Mark's like, hey, can you do this for me? It takes like 30 seconds. Yeah, assign it to me in Asana, And the point is that, but we have a plan. So like every day I go in and I look at Asana, like these are the 7 things I got to get done today, or the 2 things or whatever it is. I have a plan. I know what they are. So we have this checklist that literally just, it's a checklist. I don't know, how do you describe a checklist? It's a list of stuff you check off, like the picture suggests there. But you check it off like, okay, I'm going to email about this. I'm going to share it on Twitter. I'm going to share it on Facebook. And some of the stuff on the checklist is not relevant to you. If you don't have a LinkedIn account or a Stumble Upon account or whatever else crazy people use these days on social media, if you don't have that, then it's just not relevant to you, then skip it. But this checklist is awesome. I've heard from numerous people that, for different launches that we've run that like this thing is so easy to use and makes it just so makes it impossible to, I forgot to share on Twitter for 3 days. Oops, big opportunity missed. So go grab that checklist and develop a plan. All right, so let's talk about some ninja tactics now. These are just 3 of the best strategies that we've come across. And we want to hear from you on this, by the way. But these are 3 of the best strategies that we've come across that we've personally used in launches that we've run. Like we've encouraged other people to do these and they've worked really well, but also that I've used on my site that have been very profitable. Let's put it that way. So number 1, mail to your unopens. Mark knows, like he's responsible for doing this for our team now with my list, my mattmcwames.com list. He every couple of weeks mails to the unopens. We literally just started doing. How many times have we done this? Once, I think.
Yep, just once.
Yeah. Well, we literally took people who didn't open an email, mailed the same thing to them again, and the open rate was something like 15.2%. Obviously, 15.2% is a very low open rate for us because our average is in the high 20s, low 30s, and we scrub our list. So that may sound really high or really low to some people. I have no idea, but we'll just call it about 30%. I think it's actually just slightly north of that, but 15% sounds low, but literally that 15% is on top of the other 30%. Essentially, it's not quite exact math, but it's 15% of the 70% that didn't open the email. So anybody want to do that math? What's that? 7 carry like 10.5%, I think is accurate. That's nice because that's on top of the other 30%. So that effectively makes our open rate for an individual email 40-something%. So the key here is just to go in, take your unopens from a campaign. I would not suggest doing this on every email that you send, but maybe for the ebook, for the first video, and for the first set of webinars, maybe one more, maybe video 3, something like that, and mail your unopens. Just get in there, see who hasn't opened, give it a few days, mail your unopens, each piece of content that actually makes sense. Again, I wouldn't do all of them, but every few days, every 3 or 4 days, like if they haven't opened the email after 3 days, they're probably not going to open it. So that's my general rule. The next one is live chat. I wrote a blog post recently. I forget the URL. I think it's, what is that URL? Mark, could you find out that URL?
Isn't it something 90?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. MattMcWilliams.com/90 minutes, 90 minutes. MattMcWilliams.com/90 minutes. I go into a lot of detail about how to do this. This is a killer tactic that the short version is I spent 90 minutes on live chat for a launch I recently promoted, 15 of which I actually was chatting with people. The other 75 minutes, I was just checking email and doing other work. But I was logged in for 90 minutes. Now keep in mind, this is a 3-week-long launch, just like Ray's. And for 90 whole minutes, I'm logged into live chat because I had this idea last second. And in those 90 minutes, I made over $2,000. So again, you can read more. It's just go to the post and you can read all the details. But this is an awesome tactic because essentially what you're doing is you're engaging with people. Put this on your bonus page. Put it on a review that you do of the course. Put it on whatever. Put it on a podcast episode where you talk about the course. And just, I particularly recommend it if you set up a bonus page where you talk about your bonuses and you just have a little thing that pops up and says, hey, have any questions about Ray's course? And the funny thing is, so I chatted with 7 people, 4 of them bought. Not a single one of them. I know it's only 4 people, but not a single one of them returned the course. And that's not surprising because the reality is the product that I was promoting was $2,000. But even $1,000 course, the reality is people go into these things with a certain amount of skepticism. You guys have bought something surely that costs $1,000 online. And the expectation is, well, this isn't going to work for me. I hope it does, but it's probably not going to work for me because I have these 1 or 2 questions that I just didn't get answered. And when you get those questions answered, especially by a third party, meaning you, then they go into the process, they buy it and they feel better about their purchase and they're less likely to return. So not only are you going to make more sales by doing this, because we closed 4 out of the 7 people. Otherwise, I don't think any of those 4 would have bought. But also you're getting a better customer. We're getting a better customer. So it's a win-win-win-win-win. It's just an awesome thing. So check that post out and consider using live chat in the way that I use it, but maybe also come up with your own ways to use it.
I'm going to go ahead and share that in the Facebook group too. So if you don't get that link, just go to the Facebook group and you can get it there.
Boom. The last one, and I love this image here. I'll let everybody laugh real quick. Moment to laugh. All right, we're done. Okay. Mail off peak. I kind of touched on that earlier, but some of my best open rates are at the weirdest times. I had an email recently, killer open rate. I sent it on, I should say Mark sent it on Saturday night. And the only reason it was sent on Saturday night was because I'm totally like laying you under the bus here, was because he forgot to. But the cool thing is we learned he forgot to send it earlier. We learned a really cool lesson. Like apparently Saturday night's a really good time to email my audience. But I don't know that it would have been if I emailed every Saturday night. And so find some times, in the launch, if you normally don't mail at 2:00 in the afternoon, like your emails always go out at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Like that's my standard time personally. Mail at 2:00 in the afternoon. That's why I say mail between the webinars, because the first webinar I think will end at like 5 p.m.-ish Eastern time. Don't quote me on that. It might be later or sooner. I don't remember. We'll get to that later, but you'll get emails from me. But let's just say it ends at 4 p.m. for argument's sake. And the next one doesn't start until 9 p.m. Mail at 5 p.m. Mail at 4:30. Like your audience isn't used to that. And suddenly you're hitting up the East Coast time, like right before they go home for the day. If they're, if they work in an office, you're hitting up the Pacific time, like when they're on lunch break or going for a walk or whatever. It's like you're totally disrupting the pattern. Russell Brunson talks a lot about that like effective sales is essentially disrupting patterns. You look at movies, Donald Miller talks about his story brand. Essentially, it goes through this process where then suddenly there's a surprise, there's a twist, there's a plot twist. For those of you who've never seen the movie Goosebumps, we watched it recently, with Jack Black, and at the end he says, there's 3 parts to every story, to every good story: the beginning, the middle, and I thought he was going to be like the end, and I was going to go, wow, that was obvious, but he said the twist, the beginning, the middle, and the twist. And that's so true. And I think anytime we can disrupt people's patterns, kind of shock the system a little bit, is going to work. So mail off peak, mail at those times that you normally don't mail because you think that that's a terrible time to mail. And if you do that 4, 5, 6 times a year, it can be very effective. So Mark, while I switch over, I'm going to give a tour now of the Affiliate Center. Any questions that we have, or anything that you would add?
I haven't seen any questions yet, unless somebody's posting somewhere, one of the 12,000 places you mentioned that I'm not looking. But I think, I would just add to what you just said. I mean, I think those are the times, those off-peak times are the times to send a very personal sounding email, because it's going to come across that way. Matt, you've done that to me. You've sent some stuff off-peak to your list, and I get it, and I'm like, oh, what's Matt sending me? And then I open it up, I'm like, stupid.
Yeah, that's
everybody.
I have a friend of mine that about once every 6 weeks will email me, and he'll reply to one of my emails. Really good friend, I mean, my best friend. We've been friends for 20 something years now. And he'll email me, and he'll respond to an email like, I hate you right now because I thought you sent me an email. I thought you cared enough about me to send me an email personally, and no, it's just a blast to your list. And I mean, I take that as a compliment. So yeah, those are the times that, those off-peak ones, those probably aren't the times to send like the novel. That might be the time to be like, real quick, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, link, done. Like super, looks like you literally typed it out on your iPhone type email. And I did that once. It surprisingly didn't work the best, but I did send an email once for my iPad, and it turned out to actually be a bomb. Okay, that totally defeats the purpose of what we just talked about. But all right, so here, yeah, do as I say, not as I do, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm in the Partner Center now, and you guys can see here. This is just my test account. Somehow I have 2 clicks. I guess I must have clicked twice on my test link. So that's awesome. Anywho, clicks, opt-ins, commissions, refund, net commissions. Just so you'll know, those of you who have promoted in the past, these stats are literally starting with this past Monday. So don't think that if you earned $5,000 in the last launch, like, oh, why don't I have any commissions? No, this starts literally Monday. And which is actually why I don't have anything, because all of my tests were last week. That makes sense. Right here's where you can download your opt-ins, your customers, and your clawbacks. You're not going to have any customers or clawbacks right now, clearly, because the cart hasn't even opened for this launch. But you can download your opt-ins. And if I had any opt-ins, I would click on this, and it would download a spreadsheet, CSV file. So you can download those and take those out of your list. Or like I talked about earlier, once the cart opens, you can mail just your opt-ins. And rock and roll with those guys and not have to worry about alienating your entire list. Here is where you get your links, aptly titled My Links. I do want to point out, as it says here, that links with a future date. So for instance, video 1 is not live yet. The actual link for video 1 is not live. So if you open this link, it's just going to go to, I think it's just going to go, actually this one is live. So you shouldn't know that though. This one goes to this page. All the other links after this just go to Ray's homepage. So just FYI on that, don't freak out. The links are going to work in plenty of time, usually the day before they actually go live. Here you can view the promo calendar. We've already gone through that, so I'm not even going to go through any of that. This is where you can read up on the course. All the details that we have here on the course, you can read up on it and go through kind of each module and see what the course is all about. This is the Partner Tools page. Here's a link to join the Partner Facebook group. I highly suggest you do that because it's awesome. I think tell you what, Mark, are we at 100 members yet?
Nope.
What are we at?
We're at 96.
Ooh, okay.
4.
Let's do a little content. Whoever is the 100th member, we're going to give you something. I have no idea what it's going to be because I'm not good at coming up with these things on the fly. But if Mark thinks of anything awesome to give to you in the next 5 or 10 minutes, then tell you what, whoever the 100th person is, we're going to give you a 5% commission bump on your day 1 sales. So that's an additional $50 per sale on the first day. So you make 10. I see I am good at coming up with math on the fly. Here, you make 10 sales on the first day, you're going to get an extra $50 or an extra $500. So yeah, we're going to give you an extra $50. I think technically it's like $49.80, but close enough. We'll give an extra 5% on the first day sales if you're the 100th member to join the Facebook group. So
no, don't worry, I'm writing that down, Matt, since you're not going to, and we'll all forget.
There's no possible way I'm going to remember that. So
this is what I deal with. I just have to like run around writing things down so we don't forget it.
I know. I appreciate that. So we've got marketing plan, just kind of you can click here to view your stats. We've got the anatomy of a good marketing plan. We'll have a replay of this webinar. Right now it's the old webinar. We'll have a replay of that and the promo checklist that I talked about on that page. Banners and mailing plans. I'm going to click on that in just a second. But also, if you're one of those people who likes to create custom links, custom tracking links, an example of that might be you're going to track what email performs best. Maybe you're doing a split test, or maybe you're just going to track each individual email. Maybe you're doing a blog advertisement and a podcast ad, and you want to see which one converts best. Then this video here will show you how to do that. This is our mailing plans. I got to click on it, don't I? Oops. I love Macs, but they don't know that I want to click on a link. I actually have to press the button.
This is Matt's first day on a Mac, by the way, so everybody congratulate him.
Yeah. Sorry, I was also trying to drink water, so I was using my non-dominant hand. So here are the mailing plans that are going to load any moment now. This is a perfect opportunity. See, this is exactly why I did this. No, it's not. This is a perfect opportunity to talk about the affiliate, the partner portal here. You will notice that periodically, and by periodically I mean for about 45 seconds out of every 15 minutes, it gets slower than all get out. The reason for that is this is all connecting to the Infusionsoft API. It's just a back-end connection, and every 15 minutes, it's literally importing. All those opt-ins that I showed you, where you can click on and download your opt-ins and your customers, any new partners, all that. It's literally importing all of that data every 15 minutes, and so for about 30 to 45 seconds, depending on how much data there is, it gets really slow. So sorry about that, and there's really nothing we can do about it. But just click on each one of these, and this will walk you through the different plans that we have. So as you can see, this all-in or aggressive one, it's 17 total emails, 4 to unopens, and 10 to your entire list. So it's like, well, how does that add up? 3 of them we suggest mailing to your engaged audience down here. There's another one that we mentioned for engaged audience, but these are just guidelines. You don't have to follow these exactly, but to switch over to conservative, you have to click on it again. Let's see here. Why is it not working? Mark, make my Mac work. I think you broke it actually when you updated it yesterday. Yeah, the conservative button doesn't work, dude.
I didn't touch that. We'll look at it. We'll figure it out.
There it is.
Operator.
Yeah, sorry. So as you can see on this one, it's vastly different from the 17, 4, and 10. This one is 8, 3, and 4. So only 4 emails to your entire list. Like if that's the minimum amount, that's totally awesome, and we appreciate you so much. So check those out and use those as a guide. Got some marketing tips here on the aptly named marketing tips page. We'll put the link to the replay there, but also this video from Ray. I highly suggest watching it. Ray was one of Jeff Walker's top affiliates in his last PLF launch, product launch formula. Go watch that video. You will learn so much from it. And then swipe copy. Here is all the swipe copy, some of which is still coming soon. But we've got emails for the ebook, emails for the pre-launch video, social media, swipe copy, etc. You just click on this, it drops down a nice little thing there. You can click on that, drops, nice little thing there, etc., etc. So go check out the swipe copy. We've got graphics. You guys know what graphics are, banners, different sizes. I'll click on it anyway. So we've got Pinterest, we've got blog sidebars, Twitter, Google Plus, and Facebook there. FAQ in the live leaderboard. I'm just going to talk real quick about the live leaderboard. We're going to release that at some point in the next 24 to 48 hours. That live leaderboard is updated every couple of hours during the launch. So this is kind of one of the things that we innovated that has just been wildly popular. Last launch, that page got something like 1,300 views. and it was like people were literally refreshing it every few hours. So definitely check that out during the launch to see where you stand. But this is the page. We talked about going big, talked about this contest. Guys, this is going to be amazing because the top 10 partners are going to get invited to a partner mastermind at Coeur d'Alene Resort, which, as I talked about, is an absolutely amazing place. You guys can see it there. It's gorgeous. And I mean, it's right on the lake. There's going to be so much fun stuff to do. And you're going to get together with the other top 10 partners plus Ray. We're going to do our best to be there. It's going to be absolutely awesome. First prize, not only do you get an all expenses paid trip to Ray's mastermind, so that's your hotel, you get a suite upgrade. So you're going to be staying in a really killer room.
That's a picture of the suite, by the way. That is the Lake Tower suite.
And so you're going to be staying in an awesome room, all expenses paid, your flight, your hotel, all of your food. Everybody who goes, your ticket to the mastermind and your food is covered. Plus, you're going to get $5,000 cash for first prize. Second prize, $2,500 and an all expenses paid trip. You're not getting a suite, though. You're just getting a regular amazing room in a, like world-class resort. Darn. I still think they're actually big. The rooms we got they're still decent size. They're definitely not like New York hotel room where you pay $400 and you can touch the toilet and the window at the same time while sleeping on your bed. Third prize, as you can see, the $1,500 all expenses paid trip. Fourth prize, fourth through fifth, is $1,000 to $500 plus the ticket to the mastermind. Again, all your meals are covered and hotel. All you got to do is get there. And then 7th through 10th, you get a ticket to the mastermind. All you got to do is basically get there and pay your hotel, but all your food's covered and all that, and some cash as well. And then we're going to do a ton of jump prizes. So if you don't know what jump prizes are, a jump prize is basically on a given day, if you jump over somebody on the leaderboard, we're going to be giving you a prize. I'm not telling you what they are, but just know that they're awesome. Like, we're talking like stuff you really want. Not like a jump prize is not a $25 Amazon gift card. A jump prize is not like a keychain. This is going to be some really cool stuff.
It's not a coupon to the Kroger. Is that what you're saying?
I really want one of those. So, I mean, dude, if you give me a $300 gift card to Kroger, I'd be all over it, man. I think we're going to Kroger tonight, as a matter of fact.
That's a gift card. It's a coupon.
Oh, well,
like buy one gallon of milk and get another for free.
Oh, yeah, it's as long as it's like get this for free, it's the same thing. So webinar registrations for the first one, we got a little sprint prize there, $1,000, $500, and $200. Day one sales, if you have 25 sales on the first day, you're getting an iMac. I mean, how cool is that? Or a lot of money. If you do 15 sales on the first day, you're getting a drone. I got to figure out a way to make 15 sales on the first day.
I think Ray's trying to figure out a way to make 15 sales the first day. Ray wants that drone.
Ray is not eligible.
I know.
Ray once told me that we were doing a contest and he wanted to finish in third place. He's like, I don't want to finish second. I don't want to finish fourth. I want to finish third because I really want this drone, but I'm not going to buy it for myself. I know myself well enough to know I'm not going to buy it for myself, but I will let you buy it for me. And then you can see the other sprint prizes. And then overall, we're doing another contest just for April 13th and 14th. First prize is you're either getting a flight added or you're getting upgraded, or you're getting $1,000. Like, you get to choose all these things, second place and so on. We're going to be doing tons of stuff. We've already had a couple of contests, or at least one contest in the Facebook group. So keep an eye out for that. We're just going to be doing tons of fun stuff. That's the whole point of this. Like, let's have fun with it. Let's get excited because this is going to be awesome. And I don't know about you guys, but we're pretty pumped. So I'm going to get over here. I'm going to click on the wrong link and show everybody my email.
We're inching closer to the 100 people too, by the way.
Are we really? Facebook. What do you mean by inching?
We have one more. So you hurry up.
Okay, as definitions go, that is the definition of inching.
Did I say inching? I said inching. Okay.
I'm presuming that a lot of you watching are already in the Facebook group. So
we do have a question, Matt, if you want that now.
No, I'm not taking questions today.
Okay. All right.
Oh, go ahead.
You heard it here, Anna. Anne asked, is it possible for you to time your emails which say go so that they happen almost immediately after the various things go live? Because I'm in a different time zone. It can make a difference. And the first I know is when I receive a mailing from another JV.
So I'm not sure if she's directing that towards me or scheduling her own emails, but yeah, scheduling your own emails, absolutely.
Do we have a specific time to go live each day? Is it?
Generally speaking, we say 9 a.m. Eastern, but
Okay.
the truth is it's live before that. And so here's what I will say. If you have an audience that is unique is not the term, special is not the term, different is not the term. Now, if you have an audience that's international, and so like your audience is primarily international, we all have people on our list from like Timbuktu, but I'm actually huge in Kenya,
I don't think I
surprisingly.
have anybody in Timbuktu, by the way.
In all seriousness, I have like Kenya is the 4th largest country for traffic to my website. Like I get like 2,000 views a month from Kenya.
It has been for years, right?
And for like 3 years. It's the strangest thing. I have absolutely no idea why. But anyway, that's totally unrelated. Why did I even mention that? Okay, because if I'm going to email my Kenyan contingent, I'm going to email them at like 7 in the morning my time or whatever. Yeah, I would recommend if you do have that, then just like I know MailChimp has the time warp, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where you can mail on their time. But yeah, I mean, just keep an eye out. We're going to announce things in advance, and the partner center, which I just showed you guys, that's got all the swipe in there in advance. So we're not going to do the thing. I know one of the things that like I'm most frustrated in, like this is where Matt talks about things that frustrate him. In a launch is when it's like, here's the swipe for today, mail now. We're going to do that, but it's not going to be the first time you've seen the swipe. It'll have been in the partner center for at least 48 hours, possibly as much as 5 or 6 days in advance. It will have been emailed to you the day before, and probably the day before that. It will have been posted to the Facebook group. And so you're going to see all these things like long in advance. So when I say, here's your swipe, mail now, it's the underlying messages. Hey, why have you not mailed this yet? Like if you haven't already copied and pasted it into your email thing, then now you can do it. So I hope that answers your question. And
I think it does. Yeah.
it's a very long explanation of a short question. Yeah.
Oh, she responded. Hold on. It says, it's not about my scheduling, except I'd like to do it as soon as I can. And yet your email to me says go happens after other emails or other JVs email me. I think part, Ann, of what you're seeing there is when Matt's sending out emails, we're sending out, I mean, how many partners do we have, Matt? Like 300?
Yeah.
So these emails are being dripped out. So
yeah, that is part of it. You odds are, depending upon the order that I send the emails, because they do not literally blast out in one fell swoop. It's entirely possible that you're just getting the email an hour after other people got it.
And there's probably people getting it an hour after you're getting it.
Or like I said, I emailed it the day before or 2 days before, or they grabbed it from the partner center, and then I'm saying mail now. So my point is, don't wait for the mail now email to mail now. Look at that calendar and say, okay, PLC 1 goes live tomorrow. I'm scheduling my email for 7 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Here's what I can tell you. Everything is going to be working by midnight the day of. So, 12:01 a.m. If you want to email out at 2 in the morning Eastern time, go right ahead. It's going to work. The links are going to work. I cannot promise they'll be working the night before, because sometimes it's like we're putting on, we're figuring out that some weird thing is happening on some obscure, I try to opt in on an Android made by Samsung, used by a left-handed, person in Timbuktu, by a bald guy in Washington, and it's not working, so. Yeah.
She said that explains it.
Perfect.
Thanks, Ann. I don't see any other questions so far. Apparently, you've been perfectly clear, Matt.
I have been. So here's what I'll end with, guys. First of all, thank you. See a bunch of you on here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting Ray. We're stoked. I mean, like I said, we set a very ambitious goal for this launch, and we're blowing through it. So that doesn't mean let off the gas. That means like keep going, because we're going to make this huge. We're going to help so many people. This thing is going to be amazing. Go out there, win some prizes. We are intending for these prizes not to just be for the big boys. No offense to the big boys, because we kind of love them, but these prizes are not meant for that. You have an opportunity to win tons of these. We're going to be announcing so many cool prizes, so many like random prizes, you know, where it's like, if you make one sale today, you're entered into a drawing for something big, you know.
Or if you post your launch face by the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, tell them about that contest real quick.
So if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen this in the Facebook group, go check it out. We're doing a contest. Post your best launch face by the end of the day tomorrow. So that's by midnight Eastern tomorrow, and we will pick the winner. And the winner is getting, Matt, I think you said a 10% commission bump on that first day. Yeah. So if you were the 100th member in the Facebook, and do you get a 15 or you just get 10?
Yeah, no, you can stack these.
Okay. All right, just making sure. So if you want some examples, Matt's got a pretty one in there. Ray put one in there. I put one in there with my kids. So, I mean, there's some examples of some launched ones. Daniel Eulin, is that how you say his last name? He posted a few that I don't think were actually him. One looks strangely like Sammy Davis Jr. So I'm not sure about that. I don't think that counts, but I enjoy the humor of it. So that's one. I mean, you know, we've got three contests going right now. I mean, so it's kind of crazy. We're going to keep doing them. It's been a lot of fun. You know, Matt and I have had a ton of fun just coming up with these, and it's like, oh, what can we do? And Matt's launch one was an idea he came up with yesterday, and I just got this random picture in my email of Matt like making this weird face at me, and he's like, we're going to do this as a contest. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
it's the only face I have. The only excited face I have involves me doing that. So I always have to stick out my tongue. It's like the universal symbol for excitement, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you share your launch face.
All right, guys. So show us your launch face. Go do that. Sign up for the Facebook group. Get in the partner center. Your login is at the bottom of every email I send out. Almost every email I send out, like 9 out of 10. If you are having issues logging in, let me know. Just reply to an email. Let me know. Inevitably, some of you are not going to be able to log in. I've already got like one email, I think, saying I can't log in, and it's because your password was set wrong because somebody typed it wrong, and by somebody I mean me, or Mark. Actually, I should blame Mark.
At least he didn't throw me under the bus that time. Oh, there it went. There it was.
Never
wait
fails.
for it. You just gotta wait for it.
Never fails. So, guys, thank you so much. You need anything at all, you know where to reach me. I'm Matt at rayedwards.com. Mark is. Wait, what is is it mark@rayedwards.com? Yeah. Mark@rayedwards.com. Just email us. Let us know your questions. We are here to help because we're here to help make this awesome for you guys because we want you guys to make a ton of money. And more importantly, we want you to serve as many people as possible by getting them into this course. Because like I said before, I know it's repetitive, but this course is going to change businesses and it's going to change lives. So we'll see you. I don't know where we'll see you. We'll just see you somewhere on the flip side, whatever that means. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.